A breaking news alert on an overnight police search that lasted about 2 hours.
The Valley Today's Callie Hubbard joins us live from North Fargo with what we know at this point. Good morning, Callie.
Hi, good morning, Jordan and Lisa. Yeah, it's pretty quiet here on Royal Oaks Drive here in North Fargo, but that wasn't the case early this morning. Fargo police were out here at 12:30, and I want you to take a look at this video on your screen right now. As you can see, police were on both sides of Royal Oaks Drive and 37th Avenue North. They set up a large perimeter and were searching in the forest behind me with flashlights for about 2 hours. Officials have been all over the area searching by the Red River and the tracks as well. Now, KFGO says that there was a report of a stolen vehicle on University Drive. We're working to confirm reports of a driver and a female that fled police when they arrived on scene. Now, KFGO also said that they began to search for the vehicle and the woman that was screaming for help in this forest, and that's not far from where the vehicle was stolen. They said police weren't able to find the driver, the woman, or the stolen vehicle, and we're working to confirm that as well. I left a message with Fargo Police earlier this morning and haven't heard back from them yet. I left another message with them a little bit ago, and I also called the Fargo Fire Department, and they told me they were out here assisting. They had a drone in the air getting an aerial view of the area as well.
Okay, and hopefully we'll get more information this morning as well from Fargo Police. We know Kelly's continuing to put in some requests for more information.
And we'll have that on the VNL News app.
The Valley News Live First Alert Storm Team has issued a weather alert day.
We're looking at more chances for some severe weather coming up in the coming days. Today we may see an isolated shower or thunder shower. It's tomorrow, Wednesday, where we have that first alert weather day. Our problems today are mainly going to be wind and heat. And as we look out on our Dakota Magic Casino sky cam, you could see Southern Valley. The winds are starting to pick up again. Those flags really blowing. Not as much as yesterday morning, but still starting up here for us this morning. And it's warm out there as we take a look around Fargo. It's 73 degrees right now. We've got sunshine. Grand Forks a little cooler into the low 60s. Fergus Falls at 73 and Bemidji's in the 70s as well. So here's a look at that wind. Not a problem right now. Starting to see it pick up a bit. Sisseton, southern end of the valley, seeing those winds into the teens out of the south. And we will see those winds increase for later. So if it's your garbage day today, be ready to be on the hunt for your trash can as we head into the afternoon. Not so bad this morning. It's in the second half of the day where we watch those winds really pick up. We're looking at afternoon drive time into this evening and tonight. Gusts could get into the 40s and even into the 50s in some cases. So a windy one coming up for today. And right now looking pretty good on our radar and satellite map. You could see that there are some clouds to the west. Devil's Lake, I mentioned, maybe one of those spots that sees an isolated thunder shower heading into this afternoon. And temperatures, they're going to be hot. We're looking at upper 80s to some mid 90s for your highs. A mix of some sun and clouds and that wind also blasting that heat at us, like you opened up the oven and somebody turned a fan on as you leaned in and looked at your whatever you're making. You know that feeling, and it's going to feel like that. Looking at our severe weather risk for Wednesday, this is for the first alert weather day. You could see a lot of us in yellow indicating a slight risk for severe storms. All modes possible, but large hail and high winds will be our greatest threats with this storm system. So again, watching out for Wednesday, and then we cool things down a bit after heating up for the first half of this week, but still unsettled as we head into the weekend. Time now for traffic. Let's check in with Devin for the Valley Today's Traffic on the Move.
Thanks, Lisa. We're finishing up our morning drive on I-94. We are heading west toward Bismarck. Now, the traffic flow has picked up a little bit. This morning, it was looking really wide open when we were out here on the roadways. There was nobody around me, but you can see up ahead, it has built up a bit. Now, thankfully, over here in the other two lanes, things are moving by much smoother. I imagine a lot of this traffic flow is going to be getting off at the I-29 interchange here at either this turn or the next. So we'll see how that evolves. But overall, yeah, the biggest factor this morning has been the lighter traffic flow. And you can see out here on the roadways right now, there's not a whole lot of stress drivers out here on this Tuesday morning. It's a pretty ideal situation. Another ideal situation, no new lane closures announced here in the FM area. We do, however, have one happening in Grand Forks. Now, For our drivers up in the north, be aware that there's going to be a closure on 7th Avenue South and South Washington Street as they work to repair a manhole cover there. So just be aware of that temporary lane closure for our friends up north. Now, what day is today? It is Taco Tuesday, so Olay the day at Taco John's. For your traffic on the move, I'm Devin Fry.
26 candidates have stepped forward to become Fargo's next police chief, replacing David Todd, who will retire in July. The city of Fargo is in the early stages of selecting his successor, but only has weeks to get the job done.
A committee, including the mayor, city administration, public organizations, police, and community members, will whittle the list down, then make a recommendation to the city commission. More marches are planned in Fargo this weekend. The two groups organizing them are also calling on authorities to drop charges against those arrested after the downtown Fargo riot on May 30th.
The groups Black Lives Matter and One Fargo say they will keep marching until that happens. They'd also like to see the North Dakota Attorney General take over the internal affairs investigation at the Fargo Police Department, among other things. Friday's march, the Juneteenth March for Justice, starts at 9 a.m. at Island Park.
Saturday's march is set to begin at 10 in the morning at Johnson American Legion Soccer Fields, which is near NDSU. You can see the full statement by the two groups by going to our VNL News app.
You've probably driven through some area of the metro that's having road work done right now. This project right here is along 7th Avenue North from 17th to 20th Street in Moorhead. And some people who live in that area aren't happy with the associated special assessments.
They say they'll be paying about $5,200 for the next 20 years. They say they're frustrated because they say it's the semi-drivers who are tearing up the road.
Told them that the semis going by are what's really tearing the road apart.
Well, we're in our 60s, and to have 20 years of paying $500 a year is a big chunk of money for us.
City officials have no comment on the issue of the semis, but say that the road was first built in 1956 and it's due for some much-needed repairs.
NDSU's athletic director Matt Larson is confirming to Valley News Live that a student athlete has tested positive for coronavirus. Larson says that the person is doing better and is in quarantine for a couple of weeks.
He says people who have been in contact with that person are now being notified. There have been another 22 positive cases of COVID-19 in North Dakota. 15 of those are in Cass County. There are now 344 active cases in the state. For the fifth straight day, there were no new deaths reported. The death toll linked to the virus remains at 74.
Minnesota is reporting another 6 deaths, bringing the death toll to 1,304. Overall, another 230 positive cases have been reported. The active case count now sits at 2,780. Minnesota is also seeing its fewest number of people hospitalized with COVID-19 in months. We're just a few minutes away from a big drive-through food drive today in South Moorhead.
The Moorhead Rotary Club is sponsoring the event in the parking lot between Concordia's Bogstead apartment buildings just west of 8th Street at 7th Avenue. It will run from 7 o'clock this morning till 6 this evening, and it benefits Churches United.
Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Today's question: a survey of people who work from home found that 23% of them regularly do this while on the clock.
The answer is play video games.
Uh-oh.
Not working there. Oh well. To play along every day, you can find this question on the Valley News Live Facebook page. And we here on the Valley today want to thank you for tuning in to watch our coverage. We want to reassure you that we are working hard to make sure you are staying informed during this COVID-19 pandemic. There are several ways you can do that, including valleynewslive.com, the VNL News app, or you can also go to the Valley News Live Facebook page. Now, those are all for free with no registration required.
The Today Show and CBS This Morning are just about to start, but don't forget the Valley Today rolls on. You can join us for more live, up-to-the-minute news and weather right now on the Fargo CW.